What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I'm going to issue a quick disclosure. My wife is filming with our 7-week-old behind the camera, so if you hear cooing and baby noises, that's why. I'm not going to be retaking this video because it is 10:09 at night. Anyways, today is going to be a two-part video. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make something, but then I'm going to be giving away what I'm making to 3 lucky winners. So stick with me. Couple disclosures for legal purposes. This is in no way, shape, or form affiliated with the Department of Defense, and it does not represent the Department of Defense or their views. So keep that in mind when you watch this video. So what is today's video going to be about? Well, I have a 5th gen 4Runner and I have an SR5, and I've changed everything on that car. And one of the things that I really didn't like is the shifter knob that comes on the SR5. It's not the TRD shifter knob, which I ended up acquiring after owning the vehicle for a bit. But at the time, I had the very ugly standard shifter knob. And I could have done the easy thing and just bought a replacement, but I had a few ideas in mind. And after studying it and figuring out that it was possible, I made something. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own custom shifter knob for your 4Runner, all the materials that are needed and how to do it. And then 3 lucky winners, because I just broke 915 subscribers. My goal is to reach 1,000 in the next month. And my trend on my page has been 100 subscribers a month so far for the last 3 months. So I think that in the next month we'll hit 1,000, but I'm going to do an early giveaway. So for 3 lucky winners, I'm going to be giving away the shifter knobs that I'm making tonight. Now, a little bit of a backstory on why I'm giving these away and kind of how this came about. So I've been in the United States Air Force for coming on 13 years. I am attached to an A-10 unit. I'm not going to really go into my job because I want to keep some things private and separate from my channel. But as you guys have probably seen over the course of the last 2 years, I always wear military affiliated clothing. So it's not a surprise to many that I am in the service. So that brings me to what I'm giving away today. So I have 3 A-10 30 millimeter bullets. They are demilled in the sense that they cannot be reused. I removed the components on the inside, and I have had one of these in my car for a shifter knob for the past year. And the way that I went ahead and crafted this has given me 0 issues. It works phenomenally. It's quite the showpiece. I get complimented by this with whoever gets in my car. And I just think it's a pretty sweet piece. Nobody really has an A-10 bullet casing shifter knob. So watch the video, and 3 lucky winners are going to get one of these fully made and ready to just screw into place and use. So, all right, let's get to it. This video obviously is going to be centered around making the A-10 casings properly, for the shifter knob. But the philosophy for making a shifter knob is going to be the same. You're going to need a coupling, which I will show you here shortly. You're going to need a bolt, and you're going to probably need a washer, and I'll explain why in a second. But as far as components go, or materials needed, you're going to need a 2-part epoxy, and then the items I just talked about. Everything that I'm going to show you cost me around $51 to acquire. So keep in mind, for 50 bucks, you can make your own shifter knob. Some people might say that's too expensive and they can just go buy a shifter knob for 50 bucks. That is the case. But if you're looking to make something unique like I did in this instance, if it's worth the 50 bucks to you, then go ahead and do it. I value my subscribers, and I'm giving these for free. I'm not going to sell them. I'm not going to ever ask anybody for money for stuff that I make and give away. So to me, it was a valuable purchase. So, all right, starting from where I got these and how much they cost. So this is an M8 by 1.25 bolt. It is roughly 4 2/8 inches long. The thread is roughly, let's see, 7/8 in length. So this is 7/8 and this is like 4 2/8 in length. This is what I'm going to be using to essentially make the channel for the shifter knob. So when you take the shifter knob off your vehicle, you're gonna have something that looks like this, M8 by 1.25. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in the A10 bullet. It's gonna go as far as it can, and that will also leave a little bit of a gap at the bottom. That way when you're shifting into park or reverse, neutral, drive, whatever, you're not scraping the actual mechanism across the bullet. So you're gonna buy one of these. This was $4.59 at Ace Hardware. I will link it in the video description. I also bought a washer. This was 50 cents at Ace Hardware. And what you're gonna do, slide it on like that. I'll explain why in a second. And then I bought a pack of 20. They're female couplings. That's what they're called. I bought a pack of 20, again, M8, off Amazon. Again, included in the $51. These were like $8. Now, you do not have to buy this size. I bought this because if I want to make a different shifter knob that might be smaller in the future, I don't want a super large female coupling because it might impede me making a different type of shifter knob. You can get ones that are longer, that way you have more thread to thread into when you use your shifter knob. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 2 of those female couplings and you're going to run the washer on the stud, and then you're gonna put 2 female couplings like this. The reason why you're not gonna butt them up like this is because if you put your hands on it and try to unthread it, this one's locking in place with this one. So what you do is you put one at the beginning and then one at the end. Don't like crank them down because then you won't be able to get them out. But if you leave it like this and you go to loosen it, notice how they're not impeding each other. They are able to slide out. That's what you want, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour epoxy in here. We're gonna fill it almost to the brim. And then with the couplings, sorry, my Siamese cats are deciding to talk right now. So you're gonna fill this with epoxy. You're gonna then take your M8 by 1.25 with the female couplings on it, and we're gonna basically drop it in place, making sure that it's centered with the washer, okay? We're gonna then take it in the garage, hit it with a blowtorch just to heat it up and make sure there's no bubbles, even though you really won't ever know. And then once it's cured, I'm gonna take a socket and I'm going to slowly back this out. And in doing so, the epoxy is going to form around here, holding these couplings in place, but we're gonna pull the thread out. And then what you're gonna end up with is something like this. So you can see the epoxy has, hardened around that bolt, but I was able to back the bolt out and there is a female coupling down here. So now anybody that's got a 4Runner or probably a Toyota Tundra, actually I know for a fact you can put this on a Tundra because it's the same M8 by 1.25. They can take this, go to their shifter knob, take the old one off, put this one on, and then just spin it till it bottoms out, and then they'll be good to go. Again, this is very solid. It's full of epoxy, probably weighs about like 2 pounds. But that's all you need. So again, bolt, washer, 2 female couplings, and then a 2-part epoxy. I bought this on Amazon. This is from, looks like T-Expert or Techspert. It's got, I don't know, T-E-E-X-P-E-R-T. This is a 1-to-1, so whatever you're gonna mix with this, let's say you use 8 ounces, you put 8 ounces with this. You mix it up, you pour it in, and then you let it set. That was, I think, $36 on Amazon. And again, everything will be linked. So now that I've showed you all the components to go ahead and make this shifter knob, now let's get into actually making it. Before we get started, there's a few things I want to cover. Epoxy is pretty toxic. It's pretty nasty stuff. If you get it on your hands, it is a pain in the ass to remove. So wear gloves. Second thing, epoxy does create fumes, so do it somewhere safe, like my kitchen. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna mix it here, but then I'm gonna run it to the garage and let it set there overnight. So I'm minimizing, you know, fumes and stuff in my house. Take 3. I'll tell you why in a second. So we are now at the point where we have to mix our epoxy and hardener. On my right and your left, we have the epoxy, and on my left and your right, we have the hardener. Again, as I explained before, this is a 1-to-1. So if you take 2 ounces of this, you take 2 ounces of this, you mix it together, you pour it in whatever, you let it set, and then it eventually hardens, so to speak. The reason why this is being filmed for a third time is the first time I filmed it, my wife was like, your math is off. And I was like, okay, I guess we have to redo it because I don't want to look like an idiot. So I took my wife's math and did it, and she's laughing now because her math was wrong and mine was right the first time. So now I'm doing it for a third time. So anyway, now comes the time to determine how much we need of each to pour in this casing and leave enough room for this M8 by 1.25 bolt and then the 2 female couplings to get put in the casing but not overflow. So what I did, because I don't do this every day, I don't remember what epoxy and how much I used the first time. I filled this with water to where I thought was an appropriate level, accounting for these components, and I poured it in this cup with measuring lines on it. Now, the first time I filmed this, I said that because you have 5.5 ounces, you're gonna need 2.75 ounces of epoxy and then 2.75 ounces of hardener. My wife told me that was wrong. She said I needed 2.25, which, you know, in normal math, that's 4.5, Megan. So incorrect. But anyway, you're gonna take 2.75 ounces for this case, you know, not every shifter knob, but just for this. We're gonna take 2.75, mix them together, stir it up, drop it in here, drop this in there, center this washer on the casing. That way, when you go to put the shifter knob on it, it's not like this. And then we'll put them in the garage and let them set overnight. Now, because I'm doing a 3 casing giveaway, I need to mix more. I only need to mix it for 2 because this was my initial prototype that I'm giving away. And then I have the other one right here. So we're gonna double the 5.5, so that gives you 11. So we're gonna take 5.5 of the epoxy, 5.5 of the resin or the hardener, mix them together, pour them in here, and then drop these pieces of hardware in there and let them set. After I do this, I will show you guys in my car how easy it is to thread this on, how it grabs and doesn't move, and then I will cover the rules and kind of, you know, parameters of how to enter the giveaway and what it's gonna look like. So let's get to it. We're gonna take the epoxy and put 2.75 in this cup. The reason why I'm doing 1 bullet at a time, or 1 casing at a time, is because I don't want this to start setting prior to me being ready for the second casing. So I'm going to do 1 at a time, and you should have a 3rd cup, and I'll explain that in a second.
Don't get that on my table. Don't you go to the gym?
All right, now we're gonna do the same for the hardener. This one's a lot thinner than the epoxy is, so it comes out a little easier. I got the idea to do this giveaway because when I made this earlier last year for myself, I posted what I made on Facebook in one of the 4Runner groups, and I must have had close to 200 people messaging me asking to buy it off of me, and it's evident that I did not sell it because it's still in my possession. I know that for legal purposes you can't sell these kinds of things, and I don't want to anyway. So, all right, we now have All right, somehow it became 3 ounces for both of them. Maybe once it settled. Whatever, I'll just throw a little bit out. But we have 3 and 3. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour both of them in 1 cup. And the reason why we're gonna pour them in 1 cup is because if I mix them in either one of these, that cup is gonna get basically wasted because you won't be able to remix in there since there's gonna be a chemical reaction. So to save these so I can measure the next bullet, I'm gonna put them in a crappy solo cup and then throw it out. Now, I'm gonna take a little wooden stick, which I have no idea where I left it, right here. So I'm gonna take this wooden stick, scrape out the remainder because there is quite a bit in there. Don't mind my Siamese cats. We're getting ready to play hide and seek because that is what Siamese cats do at 10:30 at night. And fun fact, my cats, I hated cats when I first met my wife, and she told me that she was going to be getting a cat one day, and I told her absolutely not. And then she told me basically it was she gets a cat regardless of what I think. So I told her that I was going to name it if we were getting one. So our cats are named General Mattis after Mad Dog. And then I have another Siamese named General LeMay after General Curtis LeMay, also known as Bombs Away LeMay from World War II. And then we have a third Siamese named Millie after Mac Miller. So I named all of them, and now I love cats. So the love was an acquired taste, especially for Siamese, but they are my favorite. All right, that's good enough. So now we're gonna take that stick, we're gonna mix this.
Slow.
The slower you go, the less bubbles. Yes, but I don't care because you're not gonna see if there's bubbles in this. Make sure to not mix these cups up. That way I don't pour hardener into the epoxy cup and epoxy into the hardener cup. All right, so this has been mixed pretty nice. What I'm gonna do, so that my wife doesn't kill me, we have a beautiful lifetime table because we just moved to this house not long ago, and I sold our last table because it didn't fit this house. So to not damage my very expensive lifetime table that looks like it should be at a picnic, we're gonna put a piece of paper down. All right, so here's the bullet. My fingers are a little covered in epoxy, but whatever. We're going to carefully pour this into the bullet. Casing, bullet casing, not bullet. This doesn't kill people. Right now, we need to scrape like before, because a lot of it gets on the side of the bullet casing. A lot of it gets kind of wasted on the side of the cups. So maybe it was good that we had 3 and 3, because that kind of accounts for some of the lost epoxy. All right, still a tad bit short. So what I'm gonna do, 1 squirt. I should have done it in there. We'll save it for the next one. 1 squirt and 1 squirt. Now I gotta be careful because I guarantee you if I put this whole thing in, it's gonna be too much.
Yeah, don't overfill. I have a feeling that's enough right there.
Nope. Just imagine if I did my wife's math. You'd be adding for days. All right, that's good enough. So now what we're gonna do, like I told you guys before, You're gonna put this at the end of the thread. You really don't need to, but you can. So we're gonna put these right at the end where it starts getting slick, or the shaft of the bolt, but I'm not gonna tighten it because I want it to come off easily when I go to remove the bolt from the casing. So I'm going to just carefully drop this in. That was a perfect amount, by the way.
3 ounces in a squirt.
3 ounces in a squirt. This bullet is good to go. I'm gonna set it right here. I'm gonna quickly pour the second one. I'm not gonna film it because it's the same exact thing, but I'm gonna quickly pour the second one, and then I will show you how to thread on the bullet once it's done into your 4Runner or Toyota Tundra, whatever. Ooh. All right, this step is not required, but if you have a shifter knob that's gonna be clear, you don't want bubbles in it, this will help make the bubbles go to the top and then dissipate. So I've got a little propane torch with a little gun. What I'm gonna do is turn it on, and then I'm just gonna quickly go over the bullet casing on all of its sides, even though it doesn't have any sides because it's round. I'm gonna go around it and heat it up, and then just leave it on the ground in the garage to cure overnight. So let's get to it. I told you guys I had the TRD shifter knob. I did go back and forth between these based on how I was feeling, but as far as install goes, you're gonna take your shifter knob, regardless of which one you have, and go towards the driver's seat, right? You're gonna spin it off. It's gonna take quite a few spins, but eventually you'll see once it is no longer on there, it'll spin very freely, and that's how you know you can pull up on it. So there you go. You just pull it up, that exposes the threads. This is the one that I had already made that I'm still going to be giving away. You're going to push it down. It's gonna take a little bit of force because it is a direct fit because of the epoxy. And now, start threading it in. I have not torqued it down all the way. You can see it's still got a ways to go. The reason why I'm not going all the way down for this video is because that coupling in there is held in place by the epoxy. And if I tighten it too much, I could break that seal that it's got with the epoxy. And then when someone else goes to use this, it'll just continue spinning, and I don't want it to spin. I want it to actually lock in place for the next person. So this is just to give you an idea of what it will look like. This will be a little bit lower, but for those that don't like the chrome, which I don't, what you can do is take a little bit of heat shrink that is used for electrical fittings. You can put it on the sleeve before you start, spinning it on, and just heat it up with the heat gun really quick, and it'll kind of hug the chrome here, and then you can slide this on, and now it'll be blacked out. So it'll look like it's almost floating. So this is what it will look like. The other bullets that I have made are now curing, but once they are done, we will give them away. There you have it, guys. I just showed you the parts necessary to make your own shifter knob. The female coupling, the M8 by 1.25 bolt, and then potentially a washer depending on the shape and size of whatever you're going to be using for your own shifter knob. It might behoove you to buy that washer, that way the bolt does not fall in, and you also have a means of centering the bolt so that when you put the shifter on the shaft of your vehicle, so to speak, it's not going to be cocked or crooked. I am going to link the epoxy that I used as well as the female couplings, and then the washer and bolts you can get from Ace Hardware. I will try and provide links for those if I can find them online. Now, to enter the giveaway, you're going to navigate to my Instagram, which is 5gen4r, and I will put the tag here so that you can see it. But you're going to navigate to my Instagram. I will put up a post at the same time that I post this video, and you're going to look for 3 A-10 casings in a picture, and then there's going to also be another picture of my car with one of the casings as the shifter knob. And I'm gonna write essentially what I'm telling you guys verbally here. To enter, you're going to comment one word on that post, the word attack. Once you comment the word attack, you will have one entry for the casings. You can comment as many times as you want. Each time that you comment is another entry. Additionally, if you want another means of entering, you can share my post to your story, and that is all you have to do. So I will be monitoring how many people comment. I'll write down the amount of times everybody comments, and I will also monitor who creates a post with my post being shared. Make sure to tag me in it, that way I get notified when you share my post. But that is it. Today is Sunday. I'm going to release the video tomorrow, Monday, the 14th of July. I will run it for exactly 1 week. So the next Monday, I will announce the 3 winners, and then I will reach out to you guys, get your addresses, and I will ship these to you free of charge. There's gonna be no money interactions, and then it's gonna show up on your doorstep, and you're gonna hopefully enjoy them. So again, as always, I hope you guys found this video useful. I had a really fun time making these for you guys. I think my wife did as well. We had a couple laughs. And then as always, guys, if you found this video useful, or if you enjoyed it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Again, these interactions with you guys, my loyal subscribers, is what keeps my channel alive and allows me to do giveaways, tutorials, and how-tos for you guys. Stay tuned. I have really big stuff coming. Not to give too much away, but I purchased vinyl wrap for my 4Runner, and I'm going to be completely changing the look of it. And then after I change the color of my vehicle, I have some accessories that I've been waiting to put on because I have to do the wrap first before I do these accessories. So my car is gonna look completely different here in a few weeks. So stay tuned, you don't wanna miss it. And like I said, more videos of installs, giveaways, and all sorts of other stuff coming up. We're gonna hit 1,000 followers very soon, and I wanna thank you all for that. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.